Hello everybody, I'm Ashlyn, and today I'm going to be doing a quick little book review on this book. This book is This Is What Happy Looks Like by Jennifer E.Smith, and yeah, it's a great book, so I'm going to do a little close-up so you can see this. If you're looking at it on the shelf, that's upside down. It is, if you can see this, the publisher is Scholastic, and I believe this was published in January of 2014, so it's a fairly new book, which is nice. The genre of this book is fiction, romantic fiction, which, you know, who doesn't love a good romance novel? And this author is also the author of, I have it written down, The Statistical Probability of Love at First Sight, which sounds like a great read and like the book that I will be, reading next, because this book was amazing. So my overall thoughts on this book is it's really good. It says, the title is This Is What Happy Looks Like, and I looked like basically the definition of happiness and happy reading this, because you can ask kids in my 5th period, I would just stare at it and be like just so happy, but then so sad, but then just so so many emotions with this book. I have a list of things that I need to remember to touch on, because I'm bad at remembering things, especially when the camera's on me and I ramble and stuff. So I'll give you a little overview of this book. This book is about 2 teenagers that are kind of lovers, star-crossed lovers. Their names are Ellie and Graham, but they meet in a very interesting modern way. Graham accidentally emails Ellie the wrong email address, and then they just spark up a conversation, and they kind of talk for a while, and they end up falling in love, and I loved that. That was a great part. The style of this book is really cool, one of my favorites actually that I've read in quite some time. The beginning starts out with their email conversations. You can see that. And then it switches between, the chapters switch between, yes, Ellie's perspective and Graham's perspective. Yes, that was the right word. It's late. Excuse me. So yes, and then some chapters are them together when they do get together. Spoiler, I don't know if it's a spoiler. I can't really talk about it, the book as a whole, if I don't mention that. They do meet in person and get together. So basically, Graham and Ellie start emailing each other, and then they start talking every day. They share a lot of information with each other, and Graham turns out to be Graham Larkin. Ooh, that's not a real person, so you're not going, ooh. But Graham Larkin is a fictional, in this book, since this is fiction, fictional celebrity, heartthrob, teen movie star, and Ellie's a big fan of him, and she has no idea that that's who she's been talking to all this time, and that's kind of I don't know, it made me very, giddy, seeing that, come to be true in the pages of this book. I really liked the concept and the storyline, so, yes. And basically, he gets to pick where one of his next films will be, because he's a huge celebrity, and he picks Henley, Maine, which is where Ellie just happens to live, and he knows that she works in an ice cream parlor, and he goes and he tracks her down with a couple of mishaps along the way. You'll have to read that. That kind of involves Ellie's best friend Quinn, who's another main character in this book, who is a comedic role. And at first she made me very angry, but then afterwards it was kind of funny, because the author did make it a comedic, area of the novel, which was nice. The author's style is modern and romantic. The modern aspect is something how, they've met online, they use the internet and emailing to connect with each other, and that's very a modern kind of concept. Back in Shakespeare's days, that was not even a dream, not even a thought. So that's the modern part. And the romantic or romance part is that these 2 teenagers do fall in love and make it happen. They're literally on the opposite sides of the country. Graham is from LA, not originally, but lives in LA, and Ellie is from Maine. So it's like here and here, and then he goes to her. They're like me in the middle, but he goes to her, and I think that is just it's a really sweet book. Some literary trends are romance and romance and happiness. A lot of happiness. It's nice. And my opinion about the book is I really enjoyed it. I would 100% recommend this, especially if you're a teen girl, someone who just needs a reminder why to be happy, or someone who just loves the concept of things happening at any moment, and you never know what's going to happen. Some of the best things in life happen when you least expect it, because that's a major, like, motif in this book. I love it. I love this book. So, yes, I would rank this 4.7 out of 5 stars, because at parts, when the romance wasn't going too well, I kind of got mad, and it was a bad time. It was a bad time. But yeah. But other than that, I really enjoyed it. And I guess I can kind of sum up the ending. I don't want to sum up the ending and give any spoilers, but there's also like a point where Graham kind of has troubles with the people he works with about Ellie because he did something, and they like go off in a boat. So I mean, I don't know if that makes any difference, but that was just one of my favorite parts. So hopefully you get it's semi-long or far into the book. So hopefully if you do read this and you pick it up, which you should do that. You do get that far, because that's my personal favorite part of the book. Yeah. So that's my little quick book review with hopefully no spoilers. This book, I left out a lot, so you need to read this. You need to read this. This is a great book. Even though I was not assigned to read this, but was required to read this for a school project, I actually did find myself really enjoying this book, and I will definitely be reading other books by this author and other books along the same lines as this book, because I love it. I love it a lot. So, yes. Go get this book and enjoy this book and have a great night. And get some sleep, because God knows I won't get any sleep. But, yeah. So, goodbye. You know, Mrs. Keel, if you're watching, which you probably are because you're grading this. And goodbye anyone else that stumbled upon this. I'm sorry. I mean, it's kind of a weird video, but yeah. So, thank you for watching. Bye!